For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Well, hello again as we begin the month of August. Lots of exciting things happening in the Blue Water area, Marine City, St. Clair. We're glad you're here. We want to welcome back Kathy Burton from the Boardwalk Theater and a special guest that you brought along, Mr. Mark Eberhard.
Nice to see you, Paul.
Recently retired.
As of a month ago.
About a month ago?
Yeah.
From a long, wonderful service for the East China School District. 37 years.
38.
38?
Yep, 38.
So you must have been a child 15, 16 years old when you started.
Nope, started in 1986, September.
Wow. Great time. You were a chemistry teacher. Biological teacher. I'll get that word right. And then, of course, you were in the theater forever.
Yeah, that and the student leadership program for a long time as well.
Yeah, with the students, student council and all that kind of great stuff.
Yes, sir.
You haven't been off long enough to miss it, but you're already back into the theater.
It's been about a year and a half, so I stepped away from the theater about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I helped with the sets for Willy Wonka, but that's as far as I've done recently.
Right. But it's a labor of love for you. You love it and you're so good at it. So I imagine Kathy's happy to have you.
I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled. I really am. And it's so interesting to see the people who are working on this production, how excited they are. So you have a great legacy. I mean, Chris Martis, who is off with his career, been out working for years, and he said, Eb's directing, I want to do his lights.
I'll be there.
I want to do his lights. And Jenna Russell is coming back for this. So, I mean, I was in the bank the other day, and someone said, I want to see Fiddler. I said, Mark Eberhard's directing it. And he said, oh my gosh, and everybody was a Twitter around me saying, oh, my kids were in his shows. So
Very humble young man, though.
Yeah, I know he is.
How big is the cast?
It's about 30, 35.
Wow.
It's a bigger cast. It's a bigger show.
Is it bigger than you did in high school?
No, in high school we got a little bit more leeway. We had a cast about 70, 75.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to costume.
Is that because of the size of the stage, or
the size of the stage, the type of theater, that type of thing? Yeah. I mean, we were educational theater. You're trying to involve as many kids as possible.
Right.
We couldn't possibly fit 75 people on the Boardwalk stage, even though it's a nice size stage.
No,
Right.
nor would we want to.
No.
That's a lot of work, costuming and everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. So we're talking about a play called Fiddler on the Roof.
Correct.
It starts on the 17th and runs through September, right?
September 22nd.
Okay. Tell me all about it. What's happening?
Well, Fiddler on the Roof is a classic Broadway musical. Really works around three major themes of tradition, love, and change. A lot of people think tradition is the main driver, and it's really not the main driver. Tradition can be both positive and can get in the way sometimes.
Correct.
And so it's the idea that change happens. We are having a time where Russia is putting a lot of the pressure and blame on the Jewish population to sort of divert attention. And that's causing a lot of change in the community, and that's causing Tevye to reconsider some of the traditions. And really, love is what drives the story. It's his love of his daughters and wanting what's best for them. And so he's got to make some compromises along the way. He's got to bend his traditions a little bit because society is bending. And in the end, love wins out.
Lots of music.
Yes, great music. I think one of the best scores there is.
How many numbers will you guys be performing?
Actually singing and fully performing, there's about 13 numbers.
Wow.
And then there's a whole bunch of incidental music and scene change music and underscoring music. But the actual numbers, I believe, is 13.
Wow. Kathy, you must have assembled a big orchestra.
We do. We have a live orchestra for this one. So we like to, especially when it's a traditional show like this with such a great score, we like to have live musicians.
And you always had bring quality stuff. So
Thank you.
That's part of it. That's
Thank
part
you.
of it. So.
Yes, and that's what Mark is doing. It's
Yeah.
just great to have him as part of the directing team this year, really.
Right.
So I'm thrilled to have him on board.
Memories of the high school. I mean, the productions you did there. You did some phenomenal ones.
Ironically, I did Fiddler in
Yeah, couple times.
2004. First time. That was the opening show for the Performing Arts Center that
Right.
opened in East China.
Right.
So that was the very first show that was in there. But enjoyed a lot of different shows over the years. Things from doing like Chicago and Sweeney Todd and Into the Woods and a lot of other non-musical productions that we really enjoyed as well.
Did you see over the years a change in the students? Did they attract more as you went along, or less?
The program solidly built for many years. Yeah, we were running very strong, very large amount of participation. Excuse me, till we get to that magic point of COVID.
Yeah,
and that
just turned everything off.
That just, in high schools you got about a 2-year history.
Yep.
Because people are moving on.
Yeah.
And that 2 years of COVID, we lost a lot of our history.
Yeah.
A lot of our history. It affected our parent support group. It affected the number of kids involved. And I'm getting towards the end there. That's about year 28 for me, and I'm going, holy cow, can I do this again?
Right.
And that's where I started thinking maybe I should step aside and let someone else take the reins for the future. So,
over the years, I remember you went to a couple of conferences in Chicago in the summers to learn more about theater.
Yeah, I actually got my master's in Chicago at it's called the College for Performing Arts at Roosevelt University. That was back in the early 2000s. It was a great program. Got to work with people from some of the best theaters in Chicago, from Goodman to Steppenwolf to Looking Glass to Chicago Shakes. So it was a great program. I learned a lot and was able to bring a lot back and incorporate it.
I imagine you've watched Kathy's organization, Thumb Coast Theaters, grow from the beginning. Any comments?
Oh, I'm impressed. They've done a very nice job of bringing it along, because it was just a small little snug theater, and
but it was a good way to do it.
Expanded to Riverbank, and now they've got this very nice theater called the Boardwalk right in town.
Are they building a lot of theaters across the country?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, so this is pretty unique for our area.
Theaters, yeah. I mean, theater is somewhat in a transition. Nationwide, trying to reach. A lot of the regional theaters have been having a hard time staying afloat, and there's a lot of questions about what type of theater we should be doing, what types of programming should we be offering, how do we attract new audiences. A lot of theaters are having problems because most of their patrons are elderly, and so there's a lot of push on trying to build a new audience.
Well, when I've gone to Boardwalk, though, I see a lot of young people in the audience, whether it's the plays I'm going to, or maybe it's just what's happening here.
Well, and I will give a lot of credit to the school system and the years that you did what you did with the drama program, Jay McCullough over at Marine City. We have had a lot of talent.
Right.
We're really surprised at the talent that's bubbled up out of the community. So they're sending graduates in our direction that stay involved with us. And we might only get them for a few years, and then they move on, which is what young people should do.
Right.
But still, we have this revolving door that is constantly bringing new talent in, really good talent. And there is
it's a farm system, like a baseball team.
It's great. It's exactly what it is. Yeah.
And hopefully community theaters like this are going to continue to grow. I mean, if you ever tried to go to a professional show or a Broadway show recently, the prices are just getting
really high,
unbelievable. I mean, you want to go to New York now, you're looking $200-300.
Oh, wow.
For a ticket.
Wow.
But the other thing you get with the strong school programs is they've trained the community.
Yeah.
If the community comes to see their son or daughter on stage, if you've got aunts, uncles, grandparents that are coming, they kind of learn, gosh, maybe I like theater.
Yeah.
So now it's a lot easier for us to attract them to our audience because they already got a taste of it. So I think we sometimes overlook how valuable having arts in the school is.
They complement each other.
Yes. Yeah, they really do. They help to feed the culture system of the community, which helps the community overall.
You can't have one without the other.
Nope.
Okay, let's go back to the dates and the times and where can I get tickets and all that.
thumbcoasttheaters.com. We also have a box office, 810-278-1749, that you can call to get tickets. But the easiest way is just to go to thumbcoasttheaters.com, pick your date, pick your seat, book your tickets. This one is at the Boardwalk in St. Clair.
So it goes from August 17th, I think.
Through September 22nd.
22nd.
Weekend performances.
And you
primarily.
have, on the weekends, what do you got, matinees, couple matinees?
We do. We tend to do Saturday and Sunday matinees. I don't know how many Saturday matinees we have for this one, though. We do have Sunday matinees, which are always very popular. So if you want a matinee, get them early.
And I'm amazed, and I see it, and I hear about it. The restaurants in town are doing wonderful.
That's what we wanted.
Because the people are coming before the theater, they're going after the theater. The matinees. Mike Laporte told me the other day, a couple of Sundays, when you had stuff on, he ran out of food, which is, I mean,
That's a good problem.
that's a unique problem. But you know, you don't want to do that too often. But that's a compliment for the whole project. So I'm honored to have you guys come in and talk about it. All right, so the 17th through the 22nd, tickets are available. Not a bad seat in the house.
No, 7:30 p.m. shows and 3 o'clock matinees. So hope to see a lot of people turn out for it.
It's a
Glad
great,
to
it's a
see
great
you.
family show. It
Yes.
works
Yeah.
for all ages.
Well, I know it's so nice to see you back in the theater where you belong. You're
Yeah, we'll find out.
no.
We're so excited to have
You
you.
belong. You belong in the theater. So congratulations.
Well, thank
I'm
you.
glad it's happening. Kathy, you made a good
I think so.
decision there.
Now if we can keep 'em.
Yeah.
Thank you for the chance.
They got plans for you for the next spring too.
Yeah, I did.
She
I
hasn't-
started talking.
She
I was
hasn't
talking.
talked to you about it yet. We'll be back with our next guest in just a second. Hey, and we're back with a real friend. This one is a real friend. By the name of Deborah Johnson, who is the executive director of the wonderful organization called St. Clair County Community Mental Health, which means you cover a lot of stuff.
We do, this whole county.
Right.
And yeah, the whole county with mental health and substance use services. We do a lot of things.
So the month of August is affectionately called Recovery Month. What does that mean?
Well, actually, it's September, but we're a little.
Oh, am I early?
That's
Oh, yeah,
okay.
it says September right there.
That's okay, because I know this is August, but
Yeah.
we're going to talk about, Recovery Month.
Yeah.
And International Friendship is August.
Okay, all right.
So-
Yeah, I got that over here.
But we want to give people advance notice
Yeah.
about some of the stuff we're doing for recovery so they can
Right.
put it in their schedules.
Well, it's a big subject.
It is. So specifically, in the month of September, we're going to start our recovery summit. They're all webinars. We've done it. This will be our third or fourth year doing it. It's been really successful. The first year we did it was during COVID, because we had no other choice, and we
couldn't go out.
that's when we had oh my God, what's his name? The doctor from the news.
From Channel 4? Mm-hmm. Okay, I know he's the short little guy.
Yeah,
I'll think of his name about 3 o'clock in the morning.
we
and
both
call
will. Yeah, I'll text you. At any rate, he was our headliner, and we were like so excited because he actually lives in Harson's Island. But anyways, and he was volunteering his time to us. And but we had to do it virtually. He still did a great
Yeah.
job. But anyways, a lot of people attended. But then the next year, people said that even though they had to do it that way, they liked it because they were like just over an hour sessions.
Yeah,
We gave
yeah.
people continuing
Not
education
too
credits.
much. Not,
Yeah.
just
And they
enough.
could do, a lot of them are at lunchtime, so you can take your lunch break and you don't have to take time off work, and you can get continuing ed credits. And if you're a social worker, you have to have
okay.
those.
Okay.
Yeah, and you get free continuing ed credits, but you got to register with us.
Do
But
they have to work for you necessarily?
no, anybody all over the world can sign on to our webinar.
Okay.
So you just have to go to our website, and you will see the information on how to. If you need the CEs, then you have to. Sign up, and they want everybody to kind of register so they know who will be on the
Yeah.
webinars. There probably is a limit. I mean, I don't know how many. I don't know that much about technology. I don't even know how to say this right. Like, how many can it handle? I don't know, 150. I don't know.
Oh, a
but
bunch.
but anyways, so yeah. So there's going to be a lot of different talks about some of the current efforts that are going on in our community, the different types of treatment programs we have. We have a lot at community mental health, including traditional outpatient type treatment. We have a lot of groups that support people who are in recovery, and then we also have medication assisted treatment, which is people who need things like Suboxone or Vivitrol. Suboxone's for opioid addiction, and Vivitrol is for alcohol addiction. We have one more kind of medication, I can't think of what it is, but it really helps people get on the right path through their recovery because it actually blocks the receptors in your brain that want.
So do they have to have a prescription from a doctor?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Our psychiatrists.
We'll be there.
Yeah, we have psychiatrists and psychiatric nurse practitioners who can prescribe those medications.
And write the script.
They write it, and our nurses administer some of our injections. And so anyways, so we have all those treatments. We also have places in our community like Dry Dock that was started by a woman who's in recovery herself, where she provides support to people. They don't do treatment, but like let's say you're ready to start your recovery process, and you say, I need help. I
want to start, but I don't know where.
I don't know who to call, what to do.
Yeah.
She can help you, or she can take you to an inpatient if you need a residential inpatient. Or her people that work volunteer for her. Also, Blue Water Recovery Outreach Center in Port Huron. Patrick Patterson is the director of that. That's really grown a lot. They have a big, I would say a pretty big location over on 10th and Lapeer.
Okay.
10th and Lapeer. Next to it used to be Pizza Hut. Now I think it's a marijuana store.
Okay.
High Club or something, I don't know what it's called. But anyways, behind that, the next thing is Blue Water Recovery Outreach. Same thing. If you want to get into recovery and you're not sure where to start, you want to talk to some people, there's a lot of folks there who are in recovery who can help support you, help connect you to treatment providers and things like that. So all those things are happening. And then we're also, we'll be highlighting that through these different webinars. Patrick's doing one. We have a couple I think, that are telling their own recovery stories. And those are real powerful. People will talk about where they were and where they are today and how they got there.
Yep. And it's all free.
Yeah, everything's free. So we hope that people will attend. Like I said, it's been good every year.
Where do I register?
Look on our website. If you get stuck and you can't figure it out, you can always give us a call. You can just call our main number, like 810-985-8900, and just say, hey, I'm interested in that recovery summit. I'm not sure how to sign up. Can you help me out? And we'll tell them. Then
the other thing that's happening in the month of August is International Day of Friendship.
Yes.
It was designed for the United Nations General Assembly. So it actually was July 30th, but we're going to celebrate it in
There's another
August.
there's like a national day and international day, but really every day should be Friendship Day, shouldn't it?
Right.
Yeah. So that was International Friendship Day, the 30th, and I'm pretty sure, I don't see it in my notes, but I'm pretty sure it's in August, the International Friendship Day. But the importance of that is, why we like to talk about it is because generally human beings are social creatures.
Correct.
We like to have relationships. Our mental health is connected to having relationships and support systems and things like that. And the benefits of having friends and strong connections are numerous, but a couple of them are: gives you a sense of belonging, gives you somebody that can give you support during difficult times, a sounding board, somebody who gives you praise and recognition when you do something good,
right.
Somebody just to do things with. So there's a lot of benefits of friendship, and we realized that even more, like I think during COVID, because people were so disconnected from people, and if you lived alone, that's pretty hard because you might rely on your friends, and especially people with maybe not huge families, things like that. That was really challenging. So social connections are important. It gives us outlets for laughing, having fun, doing activities, going for walks. I mean, there's all kinds of things, right?
Well, in the previous interview, we had Mark Eberhard here, and we were talking about, and he brought up COVID, how it affected the theater program in the high schools, the theater program just disappeared during COVID. And it was how difficult it is to get it back. But COVID affected so many things.
It really did.
We've got to forget that we're friends and we need to get out and be with people.
Yep, get out, make connections with people, and just one of the things we say, like, it's also sometimes more difficult for people with mental health issues to make or maintain friendships. And so if maybe you have a friend that has been diagnosed with a mental health issue or diagnosis, maybe they share that with you. If they do, that's great. And then to ask how can you support them, learn about it, try to understand. And also keep inviting your friend to do things, because they might say, no, I just want to stay home because they're feeling depressed or whatever, anxious. Don't give up. Just keep asking. Don't say, I asked you 5 times and you didn't do anything, so I'm done with you. Don't do stuff like that. And hopefully, people will support their friends and their family members that have mental health issues. So, yeah.
Okay. Now you've got a number of telephone numbers, and we're going to run through them here today. I've lost my sheet on them, but
hopefully I know them by heart. I know them by heart.
Yeah, I know you do. So if Sully will throw up the first one, we'll talk about it. Then we'll go. That's the way to do it. 888-225-4447. What's that line for?
That is how you access our system. You call that number and say that I would like to, talk to somebody about my...
I'm confused. I don't know who to turn to.
I need some help.
I feel depressed. I want to commit suicide. I want to whatever. I need help.
Or my child's struggling, learning. Okay. My child's they don't behave. They just got kicked out of school. I don't know what's going on. They don't listen to me.
Yeah.
Because it could be because they have a severe emotional disturbance, anxiety disorder, different things.
Right.
So it can be anything. I have a child that doesn't seem to be at the pace they should be with other kids.
That's a free toll number.
Yep, it's a toll-free number. And you can call that, and then they will do a screening. And then you will get referred to our central intake unit, where we do a more thorough assessment.
And everything's free.
Well, yes and no. It's free if you have Medicaid.
Okay.
And it's free if you have absolutely no insurance and no means to pay.
Okay.
Because we assess people's ability to pay. Because if you have 3 houses and a boat and a car and whatever,
you should be able to pay.
You can pay for your services.
Right.
But then there's people who absolutely cannot pay for their services, so they don't have to. So it's based on a person's ability to pay. We have it's called a sliding fee scale, so we do that. And then we connect you with the services that you need. So,
Sully, throw up the next number. Here it goes. 810-966-2575, mobile crisis line. How's that different from the last number?
Well, that is directly connected to St. Clair County Community Mental Health. That is our mobile crisis team. That is their line. A person, one of our staff, answers that phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Wow.
Yes. So if you are in crisis, you should call that number.
Don't call my hands cut.
Yeah, no, not that. That's emergency, and if you need to go to the doctor, the hospital, whatever, that's different. But if you think you're having a mental health crisis, or your family member or your friend, and if you're not sure, if somebody's in crisis, call. Just talk to them. Tell them what's going on.
It's a simple number, 966-2575.
Yep.
All right.
24/7. It'll be answered.
All right. Do we have any more numbers in there, Sully? Well, that's 966-3386. I think that was for registration for the 5K run.
No, that might. That does seem like an old number to me, but let me just see. It could be for the Recovery Summit.
Oh, I don't know.
Nope, I don't think so.
I haven't got that there.
I don't know what that number is. I'm sure it goes to something. What was it, 3386?
Answer it and call it and see who answers.
It's one of our staff extensions. But anyways, so I did forget to say, check out our Facebook all the time, because any of the things we talk about here, there will be information about it on our Facebook. And actually, that is another way to sign up for the Recovery Summit that we were talking about.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Her name is Deb Johnson. Oh, we're on the website now, too. Look at that.
Yeah, our website has lots of information. The Facebook does, too. So any of those things are great resources. And we like people to, actually on our Facebook, if you are a Facebook user, to kind of like our Facebook and follow us.
Okay. And
if we put job postings out there, you might not need a job, but just share it on your page, because somebody else might need a job and they'll see it. But
what's this? What's this one?
This is the Dementia Alzheimer Association of St. Clair County. I know we've talked about it. I happen to be the president of the board at this time. And we do a couple events a year. And what is coming up in September 21st, is the 5K Walk Run, Find the Cure for Alzheimer's. And this is a nonprofit organization. It was started in 2014 by Marcia Haynes.
Great lady.
Great lady, big community advocate. She started it because her husband was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and she felt like the doctors didn't really give her any resources or anything. And so the first thing we did with this group was we developed a brochure that has like kind of the signs and symptoms of maybe if you're worried somebody might have Alzheimer's, like different things that might be happening, and then how you should handle that, who you can call, resources in our community, also caregivers, people that can come into the home at the point where you need to have that.
People can come into the home and help.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we actually, not from this organization, but our brochure tells you about the places that have people that will come into your home. Like, Visiting Nurse Association have people come into the home, Beacon Home Health Care, and there's a lot of other ones, and people, I can't think of the other names.
People don't realize that when they are giving care, how important it is for them to have a break.
That's true. So respite is, you can, through our Dementia Alzheimer Association, if you're a person who has a person with Alzheimer dementia living with you and you need a break, you can go on the Facebook or website for this organization, and you can get up to a $1,500 grant for respite.
$1,500?
Yep.
Wow.
For respite services, and then when you get approved for that, and there's not a big approval process. It's just like if you had your person living like in assisted living, then no, you're not getting respite. If they live with you, you would get it. And it's not income based, because the biggest thing we wanted to connect people with the resources that are out there to make sure that they have that knowledge.
Right.
And so that's why we do it, and we've been getting grant funds. We've got a couple different grants, including ARPA funding from the county. And so that's what we've been using. So yeah, you can just go online, and it takes honestly less than 5 minutes to fill out the application.
Important stuff.
Yeah.
Important stuff. Her name is Deb Johnson. She's the executive director of the St. Clair County Community Mental Health, which does tremendous work day in and day out, 12 months a year.
365 days, all those things.
All those
I don't know
things.
how many hours it is, but it's a lot.
Good seeing you, Deb.
You too.
That's about it for this edition of the Focus program. Thanks very much for tuning in. Till next time, Paul Dingeman. See you soon.
All right, there we go.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingeman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.